Hello and welcome to another guitar channel. In today's episode I'm gonna try out for you amplifier made by Joyo. Joyo is the company which is endorsing me for like 5 or 6 years at the moment. I'm supported by them, and I got some effects of them, to check out, to play, to show you, to enjoy myself. And sometimes when they sending me bigger stuff as amplifiers, I get clones there to check out. Unfortunately, I need to give it back. And as well, I got this Mjolnir. It's written, it's not Mjolnir, it's Mjolnir, because it's from Scandinavian mythology, and it's the hammer of the Thor. I remember Joyo was even on, I think it was on NAMM or one of those Shanghai music festivals, the music shows, with the instruments. I think they were having two guys dressed like Thor, and actually they had those amplifiers with some kind of, I don't know, like a wooden stick, and they were like, trying to show us that they are like those hammers. so that's what it is. Anyway, it's not to hammer your nails into the wall or anything like that. It's to play the guitar. What we have here is 15 watts amplifier, full valve with 4 ECC 83, or you can call them 12AX7 as you want, and 2 EL 84 valves inside. So very classic, setup of the valves, and it sounds very classic. And you can, from the first note you play on this amplifier, you can hear actually that this is valve amplifier without any kind of bullshit. In the front we got 2 channels, as you can see here. There's 2 channels. Both of the channels got separate knobs for itself, so that's very good, because you don't share the equalization, you don't even share the presence knob, which is very unusual for amplifiers, and even bigger amplifiers had like master presence. So here we have 2 master volumes and 2 presence, separate bass, treble and mid-range knobs, and of course gain of the amplifier. On the clean channel you can make it, no, on the clean channel you cannot do anything. On the distortion channel you can make it boost a little bit, and as well at the master section you got the push and normal mode and mid cut and normal mode, which is, I don't think it's actually usable. I don't recommend cutting your mids. You need mids to play the instrument called electric guitar. The clean channel, of course, it's pure valve clean sound, reading the guitars very well. And if you connect it with single coils, you will have beautiful single coil sound. If you connect 2 single coils, you will have this, like amazing Stratocaster-ish sound. If you like this kind of connection, I love it. I'm talking like the 2nd and the 4th position on the Stratocaster or HSS instruments, SSS instruments. And if you turn the knob of gain a little bit more, you have crunch and you can play blues, and if you got a little bit more powerful humbucker, you will crank it even into almost a distorted sound. So it's reading your guitar, it's reading your volume knob on the guitar, it's reading your pickups and reacts very well. Like I said, it's very valve amplifier. It's full valve amplifier actually, and it sounds like that, and it reacts to your playing and to your instrument exactly like this. Then if you go into the distorted channel, of course you got exactly same knobology, gain, bass, middle, treble, master and presence. You can boost it, but you don't really need to boost it. There is lots of gain in this amp, and you can start from crunch, modes, a little bit distorted. Then you can boost it, and you can actually go into very high gain as well, and it doesn't colorize your guitar. It still reads the guitar very well and still makes the sound of how you want it and how you play it. And you know, it's very you can be very creative with this amp. That's what I wanted to say. So that's what you hear. You can hear as well, it sounds fat, I would say. It sounds with lots of grain. I'm not sure if Joyo was trying to copy anything, you know, from this range of amplifiers which are very popular in the world. I'm not sure if they were trying to copy Mesa Boogie or EVH or 6505 or Lani Ironheart or Rev or whatever you can have from sandwich box amplifier, because that's what they called. I'm not sure. I would say they were trying to make their own sound in some way. It's very classic sound. I used to have amplifiers like that with the very classic, you know, like connection inside. Long time ago, made by my friend from the company called Black Dog, and they were like pure valve amplifiers, and that's how they sound. It sounds like that. So in some way, it's the sound that you already know if you are into valve amplifiers. But from other hand, it sounds in some way original, I would say. From other hand, it sounds between Mesa Boogie rectifier and EVH if you high gain it. It's not EVH, it's not so modern like EVH, and it's not so old school like rectifier is. So it's something in between, I would say, and it sounds like that. So it's a classic valve sound with high gain. That's what I could tell. I'm thinking, like, what is the purpose of 15 watts amplifier anyway? Is there any purpose of amplifiers like that? So, you know, it's a little bit too loud for playing at home, maybe even far too loud. It's a little bit too silent to play the rehearsal. We will check it later. And it's very good for recording. It's very good for small and bigger gigs, but when your amplifier is mic'd up and actually you got some kind of monitors, I don't know, in the ear, or you know, your own monitors set up by the tech behind the desk. So I would rather say they are for recording mostly. Of course, with this amplifier, actually, you don't need to turn it very loud, and you can use it at home if you got you know, like tolerant neighbors, or you live on your own in a you know, detached house. Anyway, the bigger usage of those amplifiers for me is the studio and recording, and that's what I was enjoying really when I was trying it out. I've used it like a recording amp, and actually I was surprised with what I got out of it. And for me, that's the most important purpose of this kind of amplifiers, sandwich amplifiers. Like I said, you can play gig with it. On the rehearsal, like I said, we're gonna check it out. On the rehearsal, for me, it was a little bit too silent, and it was not so powerful, and you needed to crank the master onto, you know, up to the top to find yourself playing in a band, and to be heard in this kind of environment. And to be honest with you, I think it wasn't enough, and it's always better to have at least 30 watts of, maybe even 50 watts of the valve power, and then you got this headroom a little bit more. So that's what it is. But I was amazed with the recording of this amplifier with the tracks. So I had like you know, drums recorded on tracks, and then bass recorded on tracks, and then I just put it here, connect it to one of my cabinets, and actually use it like that. So that's the biggest purpose. I didn't play concert with it, so I don't know how it works, but I can imagine that actually it works very well if you got your own monitor and you can hear yourself better. And probably the sound check guys, you know, those guys behind the sound desk, they will love it, because you don't need to crank it, you know, up to the top to get the good sound, and actually they can mic it and it doesn't go into other mics, and they love some kind of, you know, this kind of idea. So that's what it is. It would be good as well for live recording on the rehearsal, what we did and what you're gonna hear as well. Tracked recording. If we go into the sounds, I'm not gonna talk anymore. You will listen. You can enjoy it. I've used many guitars with different pickups, and you will hear what is this amplifier, how it's reading the you know, the guitars, the pickups, and if it reacts to how you're playing and actually what you're playing. And I've used as well my ultimate cabinet with 4 different Celestion speakers and 4 different microphones, actually even 5, because I'm recording as well the whole cabinet with one condenser mic. And actually you got exactly same lick played by me, and then you can compare how this amplifier works with different speaker. Very good, you know, very good with V30, for example. I loved it with V30. And then we got, like I said, recording in the mix with 2 microphones and 2 different speakers, but they are both mixed on one side, and on the other side you don't hear 2 different speakers. You hear 2 different settings of the amplifier and 2 different guitars, and the signals are mixed both together. So V30 and T75 is mixed both together on this side, and V30 and T75 is mixed on that side, and we got 2 different settings and 2 different guitars. And actually I love this part of the video, because it sounds very good. It has one thing that I don't like, and I need to mention that at the end. It gives you, especially on the clean channel, a little bit of hum when you don't use it. There is like a background humming going somewhere there if you don't use it, which is not so good. Of course, when you play it, you don't hear it that much, but when you stop playing this amplifier, I got some kind of low noise somewhere there. I wasn't very amazed by that, you know. I think some amplifiers got some amplifiers are like doing this shh. This one is making of course it's not the way, it's not the same frequency. Some amplifiers are a little bit more loud, and some amplifiers a little bit less loud when they are not played. So actually you can think, if you like that, if it's gonna affect your choice of this amplifier, if it's gonna affect you know, like your experience with this amplifier. I didn't like it, to be honest with you, and actually I wasn't very happy that it happens. I think that's called by the trafos. That's what I hear, but I don't know about, you know, constructions of the amplifier that much to figure it out really, but that's what I'm thinking. From what I've heard, the components used in this amplifier are very high class, you know. Like I said before, I think Joyo wanted to show that they are not only you know, making like cheap effects and copies of something, and they wanted to show us that actually they can do something bigger and better. But maybe in the next version of Mjolnir they should think about this humming noise somewhere. That's it. If you like the channel, thumb up. If you didn't like it, thumb down, or maybe even this. I'm just making it for myself, for pleasure, you know. If you got the pleasure of it, write a comment, you know. If you got this amplifier, leave some comments as well. Thank you very much. Bye bye.